How happy are you?
I don't know, to be quite honest.
Why?
I thought I was happy, but the things that I thought, I'm gonna get emotional, I don't want to. The things that I thought was making me happy, they don't cut it anymore. Mm-hmm. And so I'm in a place where what does that look like? Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of spinning because I don't know. The things that made me happy before, like, it's not marriage, it's not a man, it's not. So it's for me to tap in to find my happiness. And to be quite honest with you, Angie, I haven't been happy, like purely happy, in a long time.
This is one of those independent Black women that set out to be successful, and she's finding herself not successful even after the success. Most people who are actors and they're aiming for fame would never end up happy because they have to entertain what people want to see. You can't truly be yourself. And a lot of successful people face this, whether you're in a blue collar job, whether you work in corporate, or even when you're doing business, you're always putting on an act to play the role for that part. And then when that's over with, people are always trying to find themselves. A lot of women find themselves in this situation because they're the weaker vessel. It's easy to convince a woman of a lifestyle and dreams that she really don't have, but she'll take on these dreams with anticipation of being happy. And once those dreams are accomplished, she'll still find herself alone, wondering where do she fit in at.
It's the wake-up call. Yeah. And I'm still here. Mm-hmm. I'm still living. So that means I have time to find it. And it's okay because it's for the benefit of me. Mm-hmm. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else, a man, a friend.
It's not easy. Some people don't make it.
No.
And they're absolutely right. What she's talking about is the change of life. We are in the new world order. Not only are women confused, but men are confused as well what to do with their life. And the reason why people are so confused is because you're constantly looking at the internet. You're constantly seeing the same stuff over and over and over again. And you feel like you have all of these experiences with your life, and it leaves you stuck like, where do I go find happiness? It's not in money. It's not in popularity. It's not in other people. It's a lot of soul searching. It's hard to find yourself when you're so used to living a lie.
Or some people stay still and stagnant because they're afraid of that. Mm-hmm. They're afraid of evolution. They're afraid to pivot. And it's just, because how are you supposed to be happier if you can't be unhappy?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to get to the next phase?
You have to be able to identify that you are unhappy.
Yeah.
No one wants to hear how easy your life was, because life ain't easy.
And nobody believes you.
I don't give a goddamn what color you are, how privileged you are. Life ain't easy, and it's getting harder and harder every day. Mm-hmm. Right?
She's absolutely right, which is why we push. You have to block out the rest of the world. Everything's only going to get harder. So you have to get in motion with adjusting to life and adapting to different situations and different scenarios. This happens even with dating, and it comes with relationships. Species who fail to adapt will go extinct. What do I mean? If all you can do is stop and complain about life, but you can't adjust to it and maneuver around it, you're going to slowly die off from depression.
So I like when I'm in these places. When you're in that gray area, you better celebrate that gray area, because coming out of that is your rebirth. It's your resurrection. You can't run from that.
Has this happened to you before?
Absolutely. Many times.
Oh, so you've had this a few times.
I'm going through it right now. When you see people happy, doesn't mean that they're not going through anything. Mm-hmm. You know,
you came in here super happy.
And that's how you get to the place like, how did this person die by?
I know.
She's absolutely right. She says it's always the person placing on the front that always takes themselves out from trying to convince people that they're happy. You have to give credit to the people that don't mind speaking their mind and getting it off their chest. They may be looked at as mean people to others who are weak, but that type of person lives longer because they're never putting on an act. And I told you guys, this is going to be the year of awakening. You have to get woke this year. Worried about what women are doing? That's just part of mental illness now. You're supposed to come here, learn why she dogged you out, learn what happened, but too many people have been stuck here. Well, you're not the only one suffering. There are people out there that are not even in the red pill space that are suffering even harder whenever it comes to their life, because their brain has pretty much been sheltered inside of things that make them emotional. Everyone fears leaving their little comfort box in order to adjust to the rest of life, that they'd rather sit inside their little box and complain about what's happening on the outside, because in their little box, it keeps them from being hurt.
We all have our crosses to bear. Some wear it on their sleeves, some are very open about it, and some choose not to for their whatever reasons.
It's just people are so mean, and people are so interested in judging and I don't know, just saying some smart ass shit or being cruel to people. It's like, I wonder if the whole world is, because I feel like everybody's going through something right now. And I'm wondering if the whole world's going through something, because the whole world needs to be checked about how much judgment there is out here, how much mean shit is out here.
She's absolutely right. I keep telling you guys, we're living in mental illness now. A lot of people are mentally ill and need to figure it out and are suffering from depression. Period. If you think you just going through something because of what a woman did to you in a relationship, I'm sorry to tell you this, homeboy, but that kind of old now. We got to start changing the narratives this year. Things have to start looking better this year in this space, because this is the year that people are going to take themselves out. And the reason why they're going to take themselves out is because they are confused. You have to find something that you love to do and chase that. That's where you're going to get your dopamine releases from, the things that's going to keep you from taking yourself out. I'm into cars. You guys know I'm into cars. That's what my dopamine release is. My dopamine release is not going to the mall shopping just to tell people what I bought or snapping a whole bunch of photos making my life look good on Instagram. Those are the people that are suffering the most, are the ones who have something to prove to people that don't care what they're trying to prove.
I just feel like some people need to get checked.
But what we're discovering is there are a lot of people in pain.
Yeah.
Because hurt people hurt people. They have to, because they have to ignore their own pain and trauma. And so that's what it's bringing up. It's bringing up the pain that people are going through. And so the shit pain, they misguided, they misdirected, and they directed onto somebody else. And we know, you know, any human that can pull back and go, you know what, give them a minute. That wasn't, I shouldn't have said or did, you know? But who has the time to slow down? Like the news cycle is, you know what I mean? Something happens, you're like, the next thing it's something else to worry about. It's so much coming at us in light speeds.
He's right. This is why I tell you, if you want to disconnect and correct your brain, it's simple. You just have to turn off your phone. You have to turn off the internet. You can start off by doing little stuff, saying, I'm not going to pick up the phone till after 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to look at my phone till 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You have to start making these adjustments with your life. If not, your brain is being combobulated with information, but your life itself is on a hamster wheel. You're on a hamster wheel, staying in the same spot, collecting a whole bunch of information, and you don't know what to do with it. And it leaves you in a state of confusion that you're just looking for someone to put the blame on. It's called depression. Not only are men going through this, a lot of women are going through this, a lot of children are going through this, a lot of older people are going through it. The entire world is going through it. Why? Because they have been psychologically reprogrammed through the phone. Through the phone. That's why there's so much evil and madness. It's hurt people constantly in a cycle of trying to hurt other people.
Moments like we don't have time to heal from one to the next.
No, it's nuts.
How are we, you know?
It does make me feel better when if I think I'm going through something or feeling something.
And you hear somebody else going
through it. Does. I'm like, oh, okay. So,
well, you're never alone.
Yeah, no.
I'm glad she said that. I did an experiment on Instagram where I posted for a week straight bad things that were happening to me that was not happening to me, but I made it look like it was happening to me. And guess what? I got my most views that I've ever gotten. Whenever you make stuff seem like it's just sad, depressed, whenever something bad is happening to someone else, people want to see that because they're hurting inside. The moral of the story here, guys, we could keep pounding the horse about women and you enjoying watching women suffer because a woman hurt you. But I'm trying to tell you right now, you don't wake up, bro, women gonna be the last of your problems that you worry about. Women are just something for you to put the blame on. We could continue to talk about how bad women are, but I'm letting you know we are in a mentally ill world. Hopefully you guys got the message behind the video. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Go over to Angie Martinez channel. You can watch the full video. Hasta la vista.